Hello, guys. It's Joe. This is Jovi 1998, and I'm here to talk to you about. I'm here to review the SpongeBob SquarePants movie 2, Sponge Out of Water, and I am with Matt Shark 13.
Hello, everyone.
And first, let's start out this review on telling how many people are in the theater. All right, Matt. Matt, there was a lot of people, more than expecting, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was like little kids there, which I was kind of surprised to see, and I felt like we were like the only teenagers in the theater.
It was filled up with people, though. Like
Yeah,
it was like there's no seats left once we sat down,
yeah,
wasn't it?
yeah. We had to we also brought two other friends, but they aren't on the hangout.
Yeah. All right, now let's go to the next slide. All right, what did you think of the first movie?
The first movie, I thought it was sort of like it was good, but the second movie I had to admit was better.
Yeah, I also liked the first movie. I liked the part where like SpongeBob and Patrick were like dried up, and they were
Yeah,
about. It looked like they were gonna die, but they didn't, and they like the first time we saw it, like you actually did
yeah,
thought SpongeBob and Patrick were gonna die, but now like you know that they're still gonna be alive. Like I think you
yeah,
did know the first time actually that they weren't gonna die anyways. You knew the.
yeah. And
All
I
right,
also like the second. Well, go ahead, Joe.
what was your favorite part of the first movie?
Uh, I don't know actually. To be honest with you, there are actually a lot of parts I really liked about the movie.
Okay. All right. Now, what do you think of Sponge Out of Water, Matt? Like, what's your favorite parts, and could this movie done anything to be better?
I have to admit, I like the idea that they brought that they brought 3D animation for SpongeBob, Patrick, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, and they also they actually made Sandy a real life squirrel, which I was kind of surprised to see.
Yeah, I was actually too. I liked what they did to Sandy in this movie.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna be like a cartoon character, but I'm really pleased that they made like Sandy a real life creature. I
Yeah,
could
that's actually. Yeah, Matt.
I wouldn't imagine I wouldn't imagine if like SpongeBob was like an actual sponge, like when they're all big and stuff. Like I wouldn't imagine if like SpongeBob was an actual sponge, Patrick was a real starfish, Mr. Krabs was actually a hermit crab, and Squidward a light blue octopus.
That'd been pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I remember one
I'm
time when
actually
remember the part where the page that's at the end was on this like mountain or
yeah,
something, and
yeah.
like SpongeBob was trying to edit the story, and it was like first I need ink, and then Squidward like inked, and SpongeBob was like, oh, Squidward helped us out, and Squidward was like, oh, I do that when I'm nervous. That was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, and you remember like they actually showed the credits at the end? Like the thing that was really interesting about this SpongeBob movie was that there were kind of two stories that were presented.
All right, what were
One
they?
of them, the first story was SpongeBob and surprisingly Plankton basically trying to get the Krabby Patty formula back by using a time machine. And I was actually surprised that Plankton, who was basically the main villain of the SpongeBob series, is now become an actual main character.
Yeah, and wasn't the part with the time machine a little bit weird though? Like when they
Sort
were
of.
actually like going back in time. Now I remember
I
when
didn't understand.
SpongeBob. Yeah,
I didn't understand like why they would go to like a spaceship that had a dolphin named Bubbles wearing a cape. I didn't really understand that concept at all quite a bit.
yeah,
If they
I'm not
just
sure.
did,
Yeah,
I wouldn't. I maybe they should have done real life places. Like they should have went to Paris, but SpongeBob would have been wearing like his the helmet that he wore when he goes into Sandy's house.
yeah. I
Yeah,
really didn't like Bubbles
but
that much.
overall, yeah, Bubbles. I felt like was unnecessary to the movie,
Yeah,
but
Bubbles.
They should have added a different character.
Like, what character do you think they should have added?
You know, they should have done a crossover with SpongeBob and Finding Nemo. If they asked Pixar if they could use their characters. Like, you know,
That'd be
like,
interesting.
instead of... If Nickelodeon said, like, hey, we want to use your Pixar characters in our new movie, SpongeBob Out of Water. And like Nemo, Dory, Marlin from Finding Nemo would replace Bubbles. That would be actually kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, and Matt, can you actually go to my YouTube channel and see if this is live on it?
Sure. Do you mean Twitch?
No, I'm on YouTube. I'm live on YouTube. I'm not on Twitch.
Ah. Alright. But you know, I've always been curious about whether or not Disney would buy Nickelodeon, including SpongeBob.
I don't want them to buy Nickelodeon, or else they'll make Nickelodeon suck even more. It sucks now, but I'm afraid that if Disney did buy it, it would suck. Disney owns ESPN now.
Yeah, I know.
It's so. Why would?
Yes.
Don't they own also
Yeah,
on
it's
AD?
live.
It's live,
Yes.
but I can't. For some reason, I can't see it live on my iPad. For some reason.
Well, it's live on my computer.
All right. Well, at least I know it's live. So you can close it now, Matt.
All right.
All right. So, well, remember in the beginning when SpongeBob blew the bubble and the bubble carried SpongeBob and Plankton for a while?
Yeah.
And I remember everybody's like saying "pop the bubble." It's like it was a reference to the Bubble Buddy.
Yeah. I actually saw remember Bubble Bass from like the first beginning episodes of SpongeBob, like that.
Yeah, I remember Bubble. Yeah, I remember Bubble Bass.
I actually saw him in the first part of the movie.
Yeah, me too. Like I like how they have There was a lot of references to the show in this movie, which I was pretty surprised to see.
I kind of felt like that the bubble reference with Plankton and SpongeBob almost reminded me of the beginning of Atlantis Square-Pantis a little bit, because Patrick and SpongeBob were riding in a bubble to go to a cave.
Yeah, I remember that part. And what else was part of the movie? You remember any more parts, Matt?
I remember that teamwork song that Plankton and SpongeBob sang.
Wasn't that like
I felt like that was.
Yeah.
Oh, what were you gonna say?
Wasn't that like a reference to Fun? Because you know how SpongeBob and Patrick were singing in Fun.
Yes. But actually, Plankton was a little bit engaged in it, but sort of at the end.
Yeah, I remember at the end he was like because I think SpongeBob have rules that they can't make like Plankton a good guy, or they can't make SpongeBob have his license and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What did you think at the end when he was like, "Well, I'm trying to make things to go back to normal," when he was trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula at the end?
I thought he was actually, from that point from the movie, I thought that like he was going to continue to be a good guy instead of like trying to steal the Krabby Patty formula.
Yeah, and I remember SpongeBob really doesn't have that much continuity if you think about it.
Yeah.
Because like things don't carry on to the next episode, and everything just like starts over.
And besides, at the end, Plankton reluctantly is now back to being the villain.
Yeah. Kind of too bad, but I wish.
Yeah, they should have. But if Plankton now became a group of SpongeBob's friends, they should have added a new villain, which would have been like a tiger shark or something like that, or a great white shark.
What else or another Plankton? Like because real life Plankton, right? And how there's a lot of them. And
Bucket too.
Oh, remember Plankton's cousins, right? Or they can add one of them, like in the episode where. All right, what was it? It was the episode where. But Plankton's cousins, what were they doing? I don't remember that episode that much. You remember that episode?
Nah.
Crap. All right, I'm gonna look up that episode now.
Actually, I do remember that episode.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
All right, can you give us a little recap of what that episode was about?
All I remember was that the episode was about Plankton trying to reunite his cousin to recruit his cousins and help him to operate the Chum Bucket business because he wanted to bring customers to.
Oh, and then that was the first episode that revealed Plankton's first name, which is Sheldon J. Plankton, and everybody was making fun of his name, and then they actually went to the Krusty Krab and tried to steal it. And at the end, they actually read the book, and then it's like one cup of love, and then at the end it said 4 in 1 plankton, and then they all went out screaming because they thought they actually used plankton in the Krabby Patties. All right, what else, Steve? So what did you think of the live action segments of this movie?
When I first saw the trailer for SpongeBob Out of Water, well, not the trailer obviously, but when I saw the poster for the movie, I was like, spot down, I was going to go see this. No, that was going to be the next movie I would go see in theaters, Sponge Out of Water, because of all the animation and everything. I was pretty interested in seeing what Nickelodeon would do to SpongeBob with all this new animation.
Yeah, and once I saw it about the real life Sandy, it was awesome. I liked what they did to Sandy in this movie.
Yeah. And it would have been kind of funny, too, if Sponge was actually a real Sponge, but I still like what they did to the SpongeBob characters, but it would have been funnier if they were actually real-life objects.
All right. Now let's go to the pirate segments. What did you think of the pirate?
I thought the pirate was all right, but you remember that tree, that palm tree, at the beginning of every SpongeBob show that's standing on the water in the sand?
Yeah.
I like the fact that they went into more deep depth in that certain area and
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. And remember in remember in this movie, the SpongeBob theme was sung by a bunch of seagulls.
Oh yeah.
But in the first movie, it was sung by a bunch of pirates going crazy, over the top type of thing, pirates. And you know the weirdest thing? Yeah.
They should have replaced Bubbles with King Neptune from the SpongeBob movie.
Oh yeah, man, that would have been.
Remember
awesome.
King Neptune? They should have replaced him with Bubbles.
Yeah,
that would have
been a reference to the first movie. All right, what, Matt?
Yeah. And they should have also added references to Finding Nemo and stuff. Even if Pixar would have got mad about it, the segment where Dory and Marlin see those flying fish. I know I'm getting off topic about this. But I thought it would be really interesting. Imagine if they added that segment, if they had the flying fish segment as a reference in the SpongeBob movie.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And all right, well, so, the weirdest thing I think about, if you think about it, is that Patchy the pirate wasn't in any of these movies. Because he was in every SpongeBob special before.
Because I think the reason why that Patchy wasn't in the two SpongeBob movies was because it felt like if Patchy was in the movie, there wouldn't be any original content. But with Antonio Banderas, the voice of Puss in Boots from the Shrek series, as a pirate, I thought that was a pretty unique touch to a Nickelodeon.
Yeah, and he's been in movies and Antonio Banderas, I think, he's been in movies since either 1982 or 1989.
I would have liked to see some Disney. I would have liked to see some other Disney voices, like cast members who do Disney voices to appear in this film, like Tom Hanks as Woody and Tim Allen as Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah.
That would have been kind of cool. But I'm sorry to get off topic about this.
And that rap at the end, though, what was that? That rap.
That rap, maybe it might have been when Bubbles didn't like listening to that song. It may have been that.
Yeah. And it is weird how those two planets, Jupiter and Saturn, I think it was, right?
Yeah.
How did they just crashed into each other? It can't happen in real life. What did they think of doing that in the movie?
I literally have no clue, but I think Nickelodeon has some power that we don't have.
But at least it gave the reason why that SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward could breathe on land because of Bubbles' power, right? Wasn't that like Bubbles would
Yeah.
like come into my mouth and they transport
Yeah,
to?
and it was kind of weird to see Bubbles without like um what do you call it? Like
The
a little,
candy.
yeah, like the thing that SpongeBob wears over his head.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Bubbles didn't have that.
It was actually kind of creative because Krabby Patties in real life are hamburgers, and then you
True.
see Antonio Banderas flipping Krabby Patties, and Mr. Krabs is like, oh, the formula. And when I was looking at the trailer, and I was like, wait, but I thought real life Krabby Patties were hamburgers, and he's flipping hamburgers, but it actually turned out to be Krabby Patties. Because I thought when I
Yeah.
first saw the trailer that they were actually flipping Krabby Patties, but Mr. Krabs thought the hamburgers were the Krabby Patties, but they were actually Krabby Patties.
You know, it would be kind of cool. I don't know, Joe, if you've heard of Universal Studios Orlando or Florida.
Yeah, I heard of them.
Like if Universal Studios had like a themed area based off of the Sponge Out of Water movie, like where you actually get to eat real Krabby Patties.
There's actually a real Krusty Krab somewhere.
Oh,
Hold on.
yeah, I'm gonna look that up too.
I want to look up where it is.
I wonder if they're gonna add that new animation to each of the SpongeBob episodes now, since it got so much good acclaim.
I actually want to go there now, but it's in a different country. I know it's not in
Oh,
the U.S., but
you mean the one in the Middle East?
yeah.
Oh, actually, yes, I have seen that one.
Oh, okay.
Yes, by looking at the pictures, I really do. I really, I really do recognize this place. Is this place still under construction, or
I think it's still
or it's already
planning.
open?
I think it's still being planned out, or it's either still being planned out or under construction.
Imagine if Nickelodeon, like a Nickelodeon representative, came and saw this.
I think they actually asked Nickelodeon because I think the people who made this are actually big fans of SpongeBob and asked Nickelodeon if they can do this. I'm not sure.
Oh, you know what? It is actually open because I just found a picture of of groups of people
Oh, can you send
inside
it to me?
the restaurant. Sure, I'll see if I can.
So what do you think of it?
That was from August of 2014.
All right,
I
send it to
think
me.
it looks
Send it
it
to me on
looks
my
like
Facebook.
all right.
Matt.
It looks like yeah. It actually
All right.
looks like the real Krusty Krab. It actually does. They have the real life boats. And they actually do serve SpongeBob merchandise.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah, they do.
All right, send me
Here,
it
I'll
on my
send you one of the.
Facebook.
All right. I can't. If that was brought to Universal Orlando, I would go there in a heartbeat.
Oh yeah.
Or
But
if they made,
unfortunately,
or you
yeah.
know, dark rides,
What?
like you know, dark rides,
Yeah.
like the ones at Disney and stuff. Imagine if they did a dark ride based off of the SpongeBob movie.
Oh, that'd be cool. But do you have the link yet?
Yep, it's just loading up. Yep,
All right.
it's open.
Oh wow. Oh
I
shit.
found another. They should bring this to America.
They should. Save image
Because
as.
if it's successful in the Middle East,
Yeah. I like the real life seats too.
yeah, it feels like that like never mind. You wouldn't know what I would be talking about.
Oh, let me add a
Even
different
if
slide, new slide, and do it. All right. All right. What are you saying, Matt? All right. So what else Did we
I'm
forget?
sending you another
Is there
picture
anything?
too.
Is there anything else we forgot? Oh, whoops.
Hold on.
How do I add a picture? Insert
Yeah.
picture.
Mhm.
There you go. No, it's in my downloads.
What if there was an
There it is.
actual SpongeBob?
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, I would really go there,
Matt,
but it's in the
Matt, crap, you're lagging.
yeah. I would really like to go there.
All right, Matt, you're
Oh,
in slow motion voice. Matt?
Joe,
Yeah, I can hear you now.
like I really want to go there, but it's in the Middle East.
Yeah.
I
All
really,
right. So, is there any?
I wish they could bring this to America.
Yeah, they should. All right. Is there anything else? I forgot to talk about that was in the movie. Like anything else we should mention or review?
If there would be a third SpongeBob movie, if there would be a third SpongeBob movie, what would you like to see as the plot?
I don't know, actually. What would you like to see?
You know, maybe it should be the first thing I would take out is to get rid of both of two storylines being presented at once. I feel like that's kind of weird.
All right. And I wouldn't want to see Bubbles again either.
I would like to bring back
Let me
King
switch the
Neptune.
slide.
And maybe add some new SpongeBob characters voiced by like Disney voices, like Tom Hanks as Buzz Lightyear, Tom Hanks as Woody.
Yeah, all right. And do you think they should like make SpongeBob get his license in this? That would be
Maybe.
good for a movie.
But I think the plot should be similar to Finding Nemo, like where Patrick is missing.
Yeah. And they have to go find them. Like it's like what they did to the formula here, where they have to go like on land. Oh, remember the part where when they were going up on land and they're like, Pat Squidward was like, really? It's on the water? And everybody and all the Bikini Bottom and Bikini Bottomites are like, all right, all secondary characters come with me.
Oh yeah.
That was a good joke. That was a good joke, actually. That was pretty impressive.
I don't know. I didn't know what that meant. Is there anything else?
I'm not sure. I think we covered most of it, but I know we can cover all of it. Like, remember any more parts we might have forgotten or didn't mention at all?
What else? Trying to think.
We did cover the parts at the time. Oh, remember the part with Karen? When Plankton was
Oh
trying
yeah, Karen. Remember when everything in Bikini Bottom was like all like goth looking and stuff? Like everything was all destroyed.
Yeah, and I remember
I thought
when.
that was good.
Yeah, everything in the trailer was in the movie, shockingly.
Yeah. And like I was surprised that like in the first movie, I felt like that was a reference to the first movie because like everything in Bikini Bottom in the first.
What was the reference to the first movie?
Like everything in Bikini Bottom was all controlled by Plankton, and it was all destroyed and stuff. Like comparing to the second film, it's sort of like that same thing, but with a more gothy type of theme.
Yeah, but except Plankton wasn't controlling it though, because wasn't it Plankton with SpongeBob the whole time? Until Plankton went off on his own.
But in the first movie, it was Plankton. It was SpongeBob and Patrick that were involved. But in the second movie, it was SpongeBob and Plankton that were involved.
Like, okay, we didn't stay through the whole. All right, did you know that the voice of Mermaid Man died?
Really?
Yeah, he was 90-something years old. Let me look it up.
Oh, wow.
Ernest Borgnine. He was 95 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was in a bunch of films and stuff. And then at the end
imagine
of the movie,
if they actually...
Wait. Like we didn't stay through the whole credits, but I heard like somebody on YouTube said that it said dedicated to Ernest Borgnine at the end,
Uh,
and he died in 2012, I
imagine,
think.
imagine if there was a spin-off to Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Like, you know how like they have spin-offs for like, you know that new Despicable Me spin-off called Minions,
Yeah, yeah,
or that Buzz Lightyear spin-off from Toy Story called Buzz Lightyear's Star Command, something like that.
yeah. All right.
Imagine,
Yeah, yeah.
imagine if they had like a movie dedicated to only Barnacle Boy and Mermaid Man.
All right, Matt. All right. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is that epic rap battle, and then after that, is there anything that happened after the rap battle, or that was it? Like the credits show.
I think they just finished the theme song. I think.
Oh yeah, they finished with the theme song.
Yeah, that was big. And then the credit. And then there were the credits.
So what did you think of that rap battle? It was kind of weird.
Yeah,
It's like
they
epic.
should have.
Yeah.
They should have taken that out and like replaced it with the theme song, and they should have had like an encore of the SpongeBob character singing the theme song.
Yeah. All right,
That
Matt.
would've been-
We're gonna end this here.
All right, guys. Thank you for listening to our long discussion of the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water, and we hope that this review will advise you to go see the new SpongeBob movie or not go see it. So, as always, on my channel, please make sure you subscribe, rate, and comment. And Joe?
And remember to leave a like, subscribe, and comment on my channel. This is Jovi1998, and have a good one.
Metro.